Hi, Frederick Zappone here. This is actually a test. I've been wanting to create a audio to put up on the self-love page so I could connect with you guys better. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I don't do retakes. I don't rehearse. Most everything I do in life is pretty spontaneous, including this message. And the theme of this message is going to be about the risk and rewards of being vulnerable. The thing that stops people from being vulnerable, of course, is the fear of the shame or the ridicule or whatever else might happen to them if they show their vulnerable parts, their weak parts, their fearful parts, the parts they don't like. Because when we were most vulnerable growing up, we were shamed. We were made to feel guilty, we were made to feel wrong, we were made to feel inferior, we were made to feel defective and flawed. And so our experience growing up about being vulnerable was there was nothing good about being vulnerable. But the problem as an adult is that by not being vulnerable, that means we build walls all around us and people don't get to know us. And when people don't get to know you or don't feel like they can know you, they don't trust you. The more you can be vulnerable with people, the more they'll trust you. The more you can be vulnerable with people, the more you'll feel connected to people. The more you can be vulnerable with people, the more you will feel secure with people. When we're not vulnerable, we don't feel very damn secure at all. And I have to tell you, being vulnerable for me is a very difficult thing for me to do. Even doing this is difficult. And I'll be sharing some things in here that are difficult for me to share. For one thing, admitting that I've ever failed at anything is not easy for me to share. But you know, when I created this self-love page, I did it for one reason. Really, I did it to become a rich and famous author of self-help books. And I have failed miserably at that. Now, saying that, I realize I have succeeded immensely at inspiring and empowering people to love themselves more. We have I think we're at 22,000 followers on this page, or very close to it. And so this page is beginning to have a huge influence in terms of people loving themselves and taking care of themselves. And it also makes me feel extremely insecure because even though I write excellent self-help books, and I've written 7 of them so far, I have totally failed at selling them. That's not my skill set. I don't really know how to sell or market my books. I know how to write them, I just don't. And I feel really stupid that I think I should, but I don't. And that's the thing. See, if you think you should be a certain way and you're not, and then you make yourself wrong for not being that way, that just makes you feel more insecure. So it's really about accepting what you're good at and accepting what you're not so good at. And so the only way I'm going to be rich and famous for my self-help books is if you guys buy my books and share my books with other people. Otherwise, it's never going to happen. Because you have no idea how much time and money I put into trying to promote my books, and with very little success. Doesn't mean books aren't great. It's just like, who wants to buy a book from a guy who's not willing to be vulnerable? So today I'm willing to put my ass on the line and be totally vulnerable with you guys. And that really comes from a lesson I learned a long time ago about being vulnerable, and I forget the same lesson often. And the lesson is this: if you want to show up in the world as brilliant, you have to have the willingness to risk making a jackass of yourself from time to time. And so today, I'm out walking here, not in the great state of Indiana, by the way, right now. In fact, moving out here from the Pittsburgh area. And it's about 62 degrees, and you can probably hear dogs barking in the background. And I'm making this audio tape that I'm going to put up, and I'm going to title it "The Risk and Rewards of Being Vulnerable." And my fear is that people will think I'm stupid, or my I have many fears. It's like people think this is stupid. It doesn't make any sense. I have fears that people listen for the first 3 seconds of it and then they'll quit listening. You have no idea the fears I have. And when I'm nervous, I speak very fast. So, and when I'm feeling centered, I slow down and speak at a normal pace. At this point, I'm thoroughly embarrassed, to tell you the truth, because I don't know what to say next. I just know that I'm tired of not being vulnerable on the self-love page. And if I want more of the people who like and follow this page to be vulnerable and share their vulnerability with all of us, and with us to share our vulnerability with them, then I have to take the lead. And so that's what I'm doing with this short audio, is taking the lead and showing you my underbelly and my greatest fear. And my greatest fear, I think, is everybody's greatest fear, is the fear of rejection. And I know there'll be some of you listening to this and think what an idiot this guy is. I'm sure there'll be a few, and there'll be people who appreciate the realness of what they're listening to. Anyhow, I'm going to, along with this audio video, I'm going to put a link to all my books. And I have 7 books in all that I've written. They're excellent, excellent books. I honestly, God, they're just excellent. I get really great reviews. Well, how about that? You know, in the great outdoors, it's not all butterflies and robins and silence, that's for sure. Anyhow, I'm going to put a link to where you can preview and or buy 1 or all 7 of my books. And if you don't want to buy them, if you still like them, if you would like to share one of my books with somebody, that would be so great. One of my vulnerabilities is I feel very ineffective in convincing people or talking people into sharing my works with others. I mean, I've done a lot of that, not so much talking about, like, you know, trying to encourage people to share my work with others, because I believe in it a lot. And nobody ever shares, or very few people share. And I don't know what to expect from this. This may be another dud, I don't know. That's my fear, but it'll be what it is. I do know that God gave me a great voice, and I've always felt that I should use it to communicate with people about this whole issue of love and kindness. And that's what I'm doing today. And depending on the comments and how many likes I get on this one will determine whether I do more of these in the future. And I guess my question is, if I do more of these in the future, that's good English, I don't know, tell me how often I should do them, what kind of subjects I should do them on, and how long they should be. Give me some ideas. Your suggestions would really be helpful. And if you promote or buy one of my books from across the miles, I will give you a virtual hug. Big one too. So anyhow, this is Frederick Zappone for the self-love page, and wishing you to have a wonderful day. And I'd like you to do me a favor. It's a pretty big favor too. No, it's not about sharing my book. I want you to do that, but it's not about that. What I really want you to do is I want you to take very good care of yourself from me, and I will do the same for you. And until we talk again, have an amazing day.